What if the path to living a more vibrant and empowered life, full color, wasn't about doing more, but doing things in a way that matters? Welcome to Say Yes with Kat. If you're ready to move from surviving to thriving, and you want doable tools that honor your whole self, mind, body, and spirit, you're in the right place. Are you ready to say yes? Let's dive in. Hey friends, welcome back to Say Yes with Kat. You have found one of our Supercharged series episodes. Congratulations! Today, we're leaning into the wisdom of the seasons and what it means to find balance when the world around us feels pretty out of whack. So we're going to start. We're all going to get on a bus together and we're going to take a journey back in time, like way back in the day. No, like really, really way back. We're going to around 3rd century BCE. And as we get off the bus and take a look around, we come across this group of thinkers here in China. They're often called naturalists or sometimes the yin-yang school. These are people who wanted to understand the world, not just by reading books or building theories in a room, but by stepping outside and simply watching nature. I call them the original hippies. Now, while they're out meandering in nature, they notice something pretty cool and profound, that the life around them was always dancing to a rhythm of opposites, hot and cold, light and dark, male and female. Sounds familiar, right? As they studied these dances, they found that whenever these opposites found a balance, that's when stuff got really neat. Things would basically become the best version of themselves. Think about it. It's a beautiful day outside. That means it's not too hot, not too cold, right? You find yourself in a relaxing room. It's light enough to read, but dark enough to justify settling into that couch. And if you think about it, a balanced meeting of male and female energy literally creates life. Like I said, pretty cool. So as these hippie sages continued observing nature, they noticed another pattern. No matter where they looked, whether it was the seasons they were studying, the weather they were observing, the plants and animals that they were watching, or even human behavior, they kept finding these 5 repeating forces, and they came to call them the 5 elements. So one is water, the other is wood, we also have fire, earth, and metal. Now they used each of these elements to kind of describe a set of traits and behaviors. Each element has its own distinct personality. Water is adaptable, it's always finding its way forward. Wood is pushing upward with growth and ambition. Fire is expressive, it's bright, it's full of movement. Earth is steady, nurturing, very centering. And metal is refining, clarifying, and reflective. And they saw these forces not only shaping the natural world, but also at play within us, within our organs and our emotions and even our relationships. This school of thought of these 5 elements eventually grew into Taoism and became the foundation for traditional Chinese medicine. And that's where we find practices like acupuncture, qigong, and even a lot of martial art forms. Here's the supercharged part that really gets me excited. When we begin to understand these 5 elements and we start to see how their traits are reflected in our own lives as well as in the nature around us, that's when we start to get a map for how to live in better harmony with it. Not just within our bodies, but within our minds, our spirits, and the world around us. So let's travel back to present day. We're going to explore that wisdom that was gained by simply watching the world to see how it can still guide us today into a happier, healthier, full color life. In traditional Chinese medicine, late summer belongs to the earth element. It's a time that feels grounded and nurturing and supportive. Honestly, it's probably why we love summer so much, right? All the work's done in the garden. We've already opened the pool up in the spring. All the summer party invitations have gone out. We've finished planning the vacation. And late summer is when we enter this stage of playing and connecting with each other. But as the wheel of the year turns and we hit September, late August, mid-September, we're entering kind of this early autumn phase. And that is when Earth, which belongs to summer, is entering and giving way to the element of metal. Here's where we find clarity, refinement, and reflection. Now, here's the challenge. We are not currently living in a balanced world last time I checked. Our typical week rarely matches what nature's doing. For example, nature gets up with the sun and takes a rest when the sun goes down. But check out any social media feed, drive around town at night, and you're gonna see a whole bunch of us up and about. We're poking around way after the sun goes down. Nature is also not drinking from a fire hose of information for daily sustenance like we do when we go to work. No, Bambi, that super lucky dude, he's just walking casually up to the stream and taking a dainty sip, and then he goes on his merry way until his body asks for another drop of hydration. I mean, I get it. I know I'm using some silly stories here, but I really do not think I'm exaggerating how out of sync we are in living with nature. But the good news is, even if our minds are living in this chaotic world, our bodies are still firmly planted in the natural world. At least until we invent some new crazy technology, but that's for another podcast. It's good news that our body still lives here in nature, because it means it has the smarts to pay attention to the cycles of the natural world, and it can give us triggers to make changes so that we can live in harmony with it. All right, so here's an example. When the leaves fall, when the rain starts to come down from the sky, when energy is starting to descend all around us, our bodies are getting the message, and they are instinctively wanting to adjust. And it's these adjustments that allow our body to stay in balance, because we cannot go all year. I mean, the idea of a year-long summer party to me sounds completely exhausting. So I think the good news that we can take away from this is we can let the natural cycles bring us back and guide us towards balance by paying attention. For me, September, it's the time of year when I begin to adjust my own schedule. I try to start rising and resting more with the sun. I'm looking to soften my yang energy, right? Constantly moving, constantly going around, soften that into more of a yin, a calming energy. And I do that by filling my schedule up with less activities. I literally have on my calendar no plans every few weekends at this time of the year. And I really try to honor and respect those blocks of time. I've found that this forced reduction of scheduled activities, this intentional removal of all of the things I put on myself, it goes a really long way in calming me down, and it gives my head space to calm down as well. I spend less time watching TV, more time reading. I might trade some of my outdoor activities for something, a little more chill, like artwork or crocheting or stained glass. This movement from yang to yin is not the only message that nature's trying to give us as we transition from earth to metal. It's also reminding us to let go, right? We need to let go to make space for what's next. The trees are not releasing their leaves because the leaves are broken. They're releasing it because it's part of their rhythm, so that it can make room for new growth. And we can follow that same behavior and do the same thing. So let's start by letting go of what's holding you back. The element of metal, it's connected to where we hold our grief and our sorrow. Now, I'm not just talking about sadness of losing someone or something. I'm also talking about when we lose our sense of identity, right? And this is happening a lot in the world right now. We're all going through life's transitions. This time of the year, kids are going to school, we're going through empty nesting, changing jobs, people are losing jobs, people are moving because of that. So there's a lot of this change, and when it happens, it starts to upset us, right? Like we have a feeling like we don't know who we are, and we can get stuck in holding on to kind of what was and not really letting go of that grief so that we can make room to lean into who we're becoming. So when I think about this time of the year and we're moving from earth to metal, I try to reflect on the fact that from the earth is where we find all of these beautiful, precious metals and gems. And this is the time of the year to look within ourselves and discover that part of ourselves that is rare and valuable. and if you're holding on to something that is a much harder process. So I encourage you to let that go and look within for something new, something beautiful that you're excited to pull forward. Now, I'm not just saying this as a nice idea, this thought of transition and how our body gives us signals. I literally lived it this month. September has handed me a big old fat reminder that I cannot push through the season like nothing is changing. I have to pay attention and I have to change with it. Here's what my August and most of my September looked like. I was training for a triathlon. I was getting ready for not one, but 2 all-day wellness festivals. I've also been training for a 3-day overnight hike. I've thrown in some travel to see friends and family. I've helped a relative paint their house. And oh wait, I'm not done because I thought I was superwoman. On top of all that, I also built a pretty cool compliance boot camp as a side project. And of course, I've been keeping up with all of my Yes to Holistic Health commitments, the blog, the podcast, coaching clients, giving medical Qigong treatments. Like, I thought I was crushing it. Now, I was smart enough. I still kept showing up for me. I still kept doing my daily Qigong, eating healthy, hydrating. But here's the thing. What I wasn't honoring was the seasonal shift. Instead, I was kind of using my Qigong sessions to sort of fuel and power me through more and more and more, instead of honoring that Qigong is really about balance and it's about harmony. Well, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but 2 weeks ago, my body let me know it was done. It was done with all that, girlfriend. After years of remission, I have an autoimmune condition, it's called MCAS. After years of it being calm and in the background, it has flared up and it knocked me right back into humility. I am currently wrapping up a 2nd week of forced chill time. I've been watching my to-do list get smaller and smaller, and not because I wanted it to, but because it had to. Honestly, the lesson is things had to come off. I had to sit still, remember what really matters, simplicity, living in harmony with nature, and enjoying a life that is full color, not just full. This time next year, I will remember in early September to do that on my own instead of being forced to do it. I really needed that reminder to slow down and help me get back in touch with nature in its changing season. I wish I hadn't needed it, but I am really glad that my body gave me that reminder to slow down, get back in touch with nature and the changing season. You're still listening to me, so maybe you need that reminder too. Here's the cool part. You and I do not have to overhaul our lives to reconnect with this balance. We just need some small, intentional practices that can bring us back into harmony. So I want you to do one with me right now, provided it's safe, like you're not driving or anything. First, take a comfortable seat. Close your eyes if that feels good, and let your hands rest gently on your lap. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and let it out slowly through the mouth. Do that 2 more times. Breathe deep into your belly and let the exhale clear a little more space each time, a little more relaxation. 1 more. Beautiful. See, just a simple breathing practice. It's connected with the metal element. It can become your body's way of opening the door and inviting in clarity and calm. Now, if sitting this still is not really your thing, it's cool, I got you. I put together a Qigong flow just for the metal element. It's on my YouTube channel. You can practice it anytime. It's a beautiful way to move with the seasons, support your body's natural rhythm. You can just check that out in the show notes. But I want to add one more small little supercharge in addition to this breathing exercise. A moment of reflection. If you have a journal nearby, you can write this down or just think about this statement in your mind as I share it. What is one thing I've gained this year that I want to carry forward? What precious, valuable thing did you create within yourself? And what is one thing that you are ready to release? Something that's in your way that once gone, will make room for something better. I want you to give yourself permission to pause here, reset, realign with the season, because sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply to breathe and reflect and listen. If you want to take this one step further, let's close our time together with a short practice. It's simple, it's gentle. I just recently started using it and I absolutely love it. So go ahead, get comfy. Again, if it feels good, close your eyes or just soften your gaze. Take another one of those slow, deep breaths through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. Again, breathing in slowly. Exhaling fully. One more time, inhale and release. Just continue this deep breathing. Now imagine crisp, cool autumn air flowing into your lungs as you inhale, clearing and refreshing you with every breath, feeling that air wash away the heaviness, making space inside of you for clarity and calm. Now, picture yourself holding a small jewel in your hand. This jewel represents the wisdom you're carrying forward from this year, the precious thing you've gained that you want to keep close to your heart. Hold it gently with gratitude, and now set a quiet intention to move into autumn with balance, with clarity, and with lightness. Take one more deep breath, breathing that intention into your whole body, and when you're ready, slowly open your eyes, carrying that jewel with you into the rest of your day. Thank you so much for taking this time with me today. I really hope as we move deeper into autumn, you will carry forward that jewel inside of you and the clarity of what really matters. Allow yourself to gently release what's no longer serving you. Remember, this balance, it's not about doing everything, as my body recently reminded me. It's honestly just about the simplicity of finding harmony in yourself, no matter what the world looks like outside. Please drop into our Facebook group, see what people like you are saying about their path to finding this balance. I'm sure something you share will be valuable to somebody else. You can catch the next episode on Friday, October 17th. We do send one out every other Friday, and we'll be diving deeper into the art of letting go and how to do it with compassion and clarity. Before you leave, please share the wealth of health by liking and subscribing to our channel. And remember, this is your journey. It is all about taking these small, meaningful steps towards a healthier, happier you, full color. Till next time, say yes to your well-being and take care.
The content of this podcast is for educational, informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Please consult a licensed healthcare provider before beginning any new health practice. Do not ignore or delay seeking medical advice because of something shared in this episode. If you're experiencing a medical emergency, call 911 or visit your nearest emergency room. Listening does not create a practitioner-client relationship. Yes to Holistic Health makes no guarantees regarding outcomes based on the information provided. Copyright notice, Yes to Holistic Health, all rights reserved. This content may be shared for nonprofit educational purposes with credit to Yes to Holistic Health. No commercial use without written permission.